because I'd never assisted anybody, and I had never even choreographed for any film or anything like that. So it was one of my first big offers. And sometimes the universe just when you are in a vibrating in a certain zone, I think the universe just gives it to you. So I was very fortunate to be approached for Lagan in a very small aspect, and I got the opportunity to learn and watch Baby Merchant and Saroji, you know, design the acts. And I am a person who can pick up things just by watching. I don't need to be tutored. I don't need a teacher. I just can watch somebody and I can, and that's how I've learned dancing too. I've never learned trained dance. I've never, in my first 26 years of my life, I didn't train as a dancer. I never learned from anybody. I just watched people and I said, oh, hey, I can figure this out. So that's how it was. But much later, I went and learned dance. Same for choreography. I learned it on the job. So Lagan happened, and then many years later, Ram Leela happened, and in a very different way. I had quit films by then because I was very happy to do television shows as a judge, and I felt more fulfilled. But Sanjay Bansali was very, very keen that I should do one song before I quit films, and that was my last film.
After that, you're not inclined towards films.
No, I'm not inclined towards films. I want to do my own film where I can show something different. I can show something out of the blocks. I mean, most times I get called to do songs that don't require any sense of. I want my work to be creative, and I find stage shows very creative. I like to design stage shows, but when it comes to and I love live performances, and I like to do it that way. I enjoy that more than choreography in films because choreography in films, especially if it's a bigger film, you got to wait for a very long time till they set up the shot, till the artist learns. It's a lot of waiting. Filmmaking
I
is a lot
saw,
about
I saw,
waiting.
I saw Sound of Music at the NCP. It was amazing to watch a live dancing show because Sound of Music has so many songs.
Yeah, yeah. Same for Beauty. No, the first original musical was Beauty and the Beast, which I choreographed for Disney, and it was the first official Disney's musical, which happened in Bombay and in Delhi. And I have to tell you that it was world standard, and even the people. That's the kind of work that I like to do, and I really find that more interesting and more challenging. I like challenges. Film choreography is super easy. I mean, there are certain challenges there too, if the actor is not a good dancer, and if there are challenges, for example, from the character of the most of the times it's a character. The main lead has to play a certain character, so he has to be in that zone and he cannot do too much or too less that goes out of line with the character. So those are the small challenges, but the real challenge is to do live stage shows and choreograph them and design them, and you have to be so intelligent that there are no breaks, there are no cuts, it's one go. So I like that. I like that. So yeah.
So you just walked into a studio and said, "Hey, I'm a choreographer. Give me." How did it work?
No, it was not like that. It was a very long journey. It took me 20 years to be an overnight success. And I have to say that I didn't have big dreams. Honestly, people always say, "Oh, you should have very big dreams, and you should think big." I came actually from a very humble family, and I had very basic needs, and I went step by step. It took me a long time to reach where I was, and I don't remember being unhappy when I was just struggling and I was, hustling. I just loved every step of the way. I enjoyed whatever came to me, everything that was thrown to me as an opportunity, I grabbed it. But I didn't have any, like, think big, drink, I never had any of that kind of vision. I went with the flow. I went with what I think I could possibly do. And I kept my expectations from people very low. I kept my expectations from myself very high. That when given the opportunity, I should be really ready and should be really of a certain level and caliber, and I should be able to give them more than what they asked for. So
Did
that
you, did
they.
you just say? Did you say your expectations were low from people?
Yes, that's my funda in life. That
That's
is
a
my
very good
funda in
funda.
life
That's the best funda you can
because
have.
you will never be disappointed then. You'll never be
That,
disappointed. What you get is get right because having expectations is one thing, but to be entitled, that's two different things, Dinesh. And to everybody out here, you can have expectations. That's great, but don't be entitled. Don't think that you deserve it. You own it. That is not something. That's not how it works.
so
So yeah.
whenever you tell Jackie, Jackie, your films are not doing well, or he says, लाया क्या था मैं? कुछ भी नहीं अभी
Correct.
इतना तो मिल गया.
Correct. everything is a blessing, and especially from a person like me who was born in a family was very impoverished. We were from a very low middle class family. My father was a mill worker. We have 8 kids. I was the youngest. We were struggling to make two ends meet. I lived in a chawl in Mumbai in Meri. So I genuinely, I cannot thank God. Like everything was a blessing. The fact that my mother and father educated me because they are uneducated, that was a huge thing, and that too in a convent school. So for me, that itself is a big thing. And then to be able to have access to, jobs and access to a good life because you're educated, because you can, you went to an English speaking school. I think I couldn't have asked for more, because then then it's about you. It's about your ability to kind of, social skills, your people skills, your skills in itself, the task that you've been approached for, all of that counts. So I think language is and being educated in Mumbai in a good school made all the difference. And I thank my parents for that. And that anything that came to me after that was a blessing.
So when you're directing or you're choreographing, so at some point you must be, not anymore aware that you watched and you're being judged at the moment. You must be just doing your thing, right? Isn't that the way?
Say that again.
I said, are you conscious when you're choreographing? Or you feel I know my job and I can do it? I mean, if there's somebody watching, you get self-conscious. Or no?
Oh, that way. No, I mean, there was a point when I was a kid, when I did everything for attention. I danced for attention. I'll be very honest with you. When you're young, I chose dance because I needed the attention. I came from a family of 8 children, and I don't think my mother had so much of time to give me. So I seek a lot of attention in school and college. So I grabbed the stage. The stage was my home because I felt most comfortable there. I had, when I was in, I think I was 6 years old in school, when I took part in singing, elocution, dance, everything. I put my hand up for everything, and my parents didn't have a clue. And I prepared it myself. I was a self starter, and I won few of them. And having the whole school look at me, when I was on stage, I think that was the biggest kick of my life. Because from then on, I was craving for that attention, for that high, for that adrenaline rush, for that nervous energy, because I got so used to that I craved for the stage. So earlier I danced for attention, I'll be very honest. I loved the attention. But after a certain point, especially the style that I was doing, it became a source of income because dancing was not about attention. I never thought I would make dance a career because I was scholastically inclined. I was doing my hotel management, I'd done my biochemistry, then I did my graduation in psychology and sociology. So I was extremely academically bright. And I always thought I would, get into something just, to do with academics. And little did I know that, the classes that I was teaching house to house when I was, in college, which was, I was going house to house, giving dance tuitions because that came to me very naturally. I had almost like, I was earning like 38, 40,000 a month, much more than what the campus interviews would give me. So, and I was really good at teaching. And so for me, then dance became a source of financial stability. I danced because I needed the finance. I did not because I wanted the attention. Then much later in life, when I discovered contemporary dance, I danced to myself. I danced because it made me happy. It made me alive. It made me feel one with myself. And now dance has become my internal dialogue. So it's very different from what I was, because as a kid, I wanted attention. In my growing up, adolescence, and of course, my youth, I was more, using dance as a way to survive and for financial stability. But now I dance just for myself. And I'm like Mark Twain once said, like, dance in such a way that, only the dance remains and the dancer disappears. Or I think that was Osho. And I think Mark Twain said, love like you've never been hurt, work like you've never needed the money, and dance like no one's watching. So yeah, that's what's happened to me now.
That no one watching is very important.
Yeah. When you get unconscious of yourself, when you get lost in the music, when you allow yourself to not navel gaze. There's a problem here also, Dinesh, because sometimes I find dancers, a lot of navel gazing is happening, which means they're constantly
Yeah,
looking at themselves and they're so involved with themselves and they're obsessed about themselves. That also is not good. But to be able to let go of yourself and find your music, your rhythm, your space, and your audience, and just do your thing. Just be who you are. Just be lost in it. That is different.
like the Sufi dancers. If you see the Sufi dancers, the dervishes, they just go in a trance. They
True.
don't know.
him, Raghav, which is brilliant. You put on any music and they just dance. They just flow. They understand the music is just the beat, the rhythm is being created as they listen to it. They're just spontaneous. They're lovely.
So when Rajni had some of it, used to have some of his classes, he used to tell us dance. And they used to say, ah, we don't know to dance. He said, do anything, move your limbs,
Yeah,
dance.
yeah.
It will
It's
help you overcome so many
yeah,
inhibitions. So I was
yeah.
telling that if you want to be actors, you may not be brilliant dancers, but if you dance, it will shed so many
True,
inhibitions.
true,
Because
true. I agree with you, Dinesh. I think as an actor, especially if you're going to be an actor, there's something called you know um, physical body language, and we call it as physical theater. So physical theater is something that is a must for any actor. Like if you learn physical theater, that's what I've learned also. Even though I'm a dancer, I've learned physical theater, which is basically able to take an emotion and physically express it to the body, not through your face, because that's the easiest. Because that's drama. Avoiding the drama to the face, but internalizing the emotion and the situation. That's your physical theater, and how you embody the character and relate to that character, and how do you bring that character out to your physical actions. That is something that is so important. And if you want to do physical theater, you need to also learn how to kind of just move your body, and not necessarily you have to be musically inclined or know a certain style. You just need to be able to move that body to a music, to a rhythm, to a pattern. It could be an interrupted pattern. It could be not so. It could be basswood also. You could be a little bit off the music also. That's okay. But what's important is to be able to move the body, to be able to kind of loosen up and not be stiff, because sometimes the actor is stiff, and unless the character is different, that's different. But to be able to kind of play different characters, which may be requiring you a certain amount of physical theater, you require to learn to be able to dance and to be able to have motor coordination skills. So primarily, if any actor wants to be an actor, he should first learn dance. Because I'm not saying you should learn any hip hop, contemporary, just basic movement, just basic understanding of how the body works, how the body moves.
so Farhan Khan had come for my workshop and he said there was a time when horse riding, swimming, dancing was a necessity. But she said now it no longer is because there's too many, like the OTT platform doesn't really need you unless it's
True,
a dance musical show.
true, true. Maybe not for the maybe because the OTT platform doesn't focus so much on music and dance, and it's not a musical in that sense. But I think as an actor, we still need to learn dance.
Yeah.
Not to be able to dance onto music and do a chamma chamma or chikni chameli or whatever you call it. Not in that kind of dancing, which is very cinematic and all of that, which is your old school Bollywood style. But I'm just saying, as an actor, it really helps, because even me, when I made my foray into acting, it was so easy to work with physical theater artists and coaches, and they were like, yeah, I mean, you understand the body language instantly. You know that how to move the neck, how to move the, and there's small articulation. So really, really, as an actor, even I'm discovering myself, and I realized that dance has really helped me. The only difference the only problem with dancers is that, especially if you're a classical dancer, then God forbid, because what happens is you tend to become very loud. So classical dancers become very overacting, because in their abhinaya, especially in the Natya Shastra, when they're learning classical dancers, what they learn in Natya Shastra is they have to kind of reach out to the audience, which is like, sitting right far behind. So they over exaggerate. So they over exaggerate. One second. So they tend to over exaggerate their expressions, because they are catering to an audience which is very far behind. So what happens in the process, they become very loud. And when you're in front of a camera, the camera is up close to you. So if you're going to make very loud expressions, it looks very unnatural. So many classical dancers, I won't name them, even in our industry, they're very beautiful, they're very good, but you can see the overacting with them simply because of the fact that they tend to be loud with their ability to express themselves. They are on the other extreme, as opposed to them being extremely frozen.
Yeah,
Some actors are
because
frozen.
they're called bhav. They have to show their bhav.
Yeah,
And
yeah. But see, there's a very, if you see But there are certain people who do exaggerate moves. Like for example, if you see the Kathak maestro, Birju Maharaj ji, you
Ah,
see him perform. You see the subtlety in his emotions. He will just do so little and still be able to portray. Now that is art, and that is an artist. Most of the times, what happens when you're learning, if you're not an artist and you're just learning the art form, the teachers will tell you to push, 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 and in the pushing, they become very exaggerated. And then that, and then they stop their, they finish their Arangetram or they finish their 8 years or 7 years, And then what happens is then the problem is that then they bring that to the table in front of the camera and then it starts looking very artificial. So one needs to be a little careful about when you're in front of the camera is up close, you need to be more subtle and not so obvious.
so as a judge, I felt, Terence, you're very demonstrative, which is very good. I just was telling them about your Chumeshwari performance. You coined the word.
Well, it was, and this is a funny anecdote that I'm going to tell you. So when I was in college, we had a word for a hot looking girl who passed us by, and we said we should call her Chumeshwari. Matlab, it's a kiss of God. Like she's been made by God, and she's been kissed by God. She's that beautiful. Now, what happened was somebody danced really well, and mere muh se nikal gaya Chumeshwari. Now, I was a slip of my tongue. I was like, oh God, I hope they'll edit it out. But my producer came and was like, listen, it's a fantastic word. And it is so amazing and can be applied here also. And it just clicked and it worked. And that was it. And that's how the word clicked. So we used to use this word for beautiful girls passing by and say, Chumeshwari, like, hey, there's a Chumeshwari. And now I have to say it for people who are really talented, which is also okay because it kind of works. It's a
That's
kiss of God.
the irresistible beautiful girls jackpot.
Yeah.
So how important is being appreciated to do well? I mean, newcomers they need to be, you know, more than criticism. I think in the initial stages you need a little bit of praise. And what do you think? Do you thrive on praise?
Well, if you're in a dance competition, then definitely, you have to kind of, I do, I understand that, people need praise, but in a dance competition, they're competing. So it's a little difficult to, give false praises to somebody because they're all, you're selecting the best. So you have to, I kind of, avoid being negative. I just tell kids that come back, practice more, come back, better prepared next time. Instead of saying, "Oh, you're terrible. How could you do this? You're not worthy," and all of that. I just go the other way around. Okay. But, yeah. Just a minute. कलर करना है बाद में आधे घंटे बाद. Sorry. So, yeah, I was saying that, if you're in my institute, like when I'm teaching, I'm very motivated. I'm very encouraging. When you're learning, I really make you feel that, you've got it. But if you're entering a dance competition where there are other kids who are working day and night, who have done probably so many auditions and got rejected, it would be very hard for me to just say, okay, you're fantastic. That would be unfair because there are other people who are also working doubly hard. Probably I would tone down and dial down the negativity or dial down, the criticism, but I would not sugarcoat it. I would say it as it is. But if you're in my class or if you're in, learning, then why would I criticize you? You're a student. You have all rights to make a mistake. You have all the right to do what you're doing. And I am here to correct you, to motivate you, to push you, to at the same time make you feel that you're loved. And that's the message I give it even at my institute. And people, all my students who come to me, or I don't teach anymore, I only teach the diploma students, the ones who are learning the higher level courses. But my instructors also know this about me, that you cannot intimidate the student, you cannot insult the student. That student has to feel very welcome. We do a full on, ice breaking session when students come to our courses. We make sure that they are, feel like a family. We make sure that they're socially, very, very feeling happy for each other. So we make sure that students are really learning in a very healthy atmosphere. But once you enter a dance competition, the stakes are high, and therefore you cannot mollycoddle them.
So you veer towards contemporary dance, I would say. Would you agree?
Sorry, yes, I do contemporary dance. Yes.
You are more inclined towards contemporary dance.
Yes, that's what my training is. I've learned from the best teachers in Europe. I got a scholarship in 2003. I was the first Indian to get the contemporary dance scholarship to study contemporary dance in Vienna.
First Indian to get, sorry, I missed it. First Indian to get?
The Dance Web Scholarship in Austria, Vienna. So
Okay.
it was a contemporary dance scholarship that I learned from the best teachers in the world, Impulse Dance. And 2 years later, I'm also teaching at the festival. It's been 16 years now that I go every year and teach there. But now I've combined contemporary dance, what I've learned from there, with Indian styles. And now it's called Indo Contemporary. So I teach Indo Contemporary, the same festival that taught me.
So do you try to extend your oeuvre, like you said, you're teaching Indo contemporary? So do you try to pick up the other forms, or you just
I do all the
skip?
time. I do all the time. If you see my reels, I hardly do contemporary dance because that I know. So I play around with hip hop. I play around with Kathak. I play around with Bharatnatyam. I play around with
I saw
salsa,
one.
bachata.
You sent me
Yes,
one.
yes, yes.
Uh,
So I'm always dabbling. I'm always learning, but I do not call myself an expert. I call in the experts and I say they are the experts. They are teaching me. I'm a student. I'm learning, and I'm using this platform reels just to have fun and enjoy the art form, and also push these kids who are they get a little bit of a push because when they collaborate with me, my followers start to follow them. So it's like a win-win situation for them. At the same time, I get to learn a little bit about them, know them a little bit more, and allow them to allow their art form also on my page to have a certain kind of a voice.
so you're constantly making people dance. Is there anybody making you dance?
While life makes you dance a lot. Well, you'll be surprised. I mean, living, whether you're single, married, in relationship, not in relationship, doesn't matter. Life is enough to teach you everything, make you dance to its tunes. And there's so much, and you can never live in isolation. You may not be in a romantic relationship, but you're always in relationship to your parents, to your friends, to the people around you, to the people at work. And that is a dance in itself.
What makes you dance with joy? What would make you dance?
Uh, Nature, when I'm in nature. When I'm in nature, when I'm with, when I see kindness, when I see people who do not have too much, but they still manage to be kind. For me, that blows my mind away. My heart is filled with so much joy that these people can give even when they cannot. That for me fills me with.
So, before you came, I was talking to Dino. Dino, raise your hand. You can see his name.
Okay,
So I
yeah, yeah, I can see. Yeah,
Yeah,
said,
hi sir.
yeah,
Dino,
Dino. Hi, hi, Dino.
तुमने सबमिट नहीं किया कोई क्लिप ऐसे डांस का से नहीं
सर
नहीं, आप विलेन का शो वर्कशॉप रखो विलेन का तुम्हें देखो क्या करता हूँ
सॉरी Dino, मुझे दिनेश की एक गलती है. काश मुझे पता होता कि आप लोग भी हैं तो आई मीन आई नो दैट यू आर ऑल देयर ऑनलाइन, बट मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में ज्यादा बात कर लेता.
हाँ राइट
आई एम गोइंग टू स्पीक ओनली इन हिंदी नाउ दिनेश, नो इंग्लिश.
या हिंदी इज बेस्ट
यस,
क्योंकि वी आर फ्रॉम द
हिंदी.
इंडियन इंडस्ट्री
हाँ, चलिए आपसे अभी गुफ्तगू करते हैं. बताइए क्या पूछना चाहते हैं आप, कुछ बताइए अपने बारे में. दीनू, कहाँ से हो आप?
सर मैं बनारस से हूँ.
क्या बात
और
है.
तो अभी जब हम लोग को पता चला कि लॉरेंस सर आ रहे हैं तो सर ने बोला कि एक डांस का वीडियो बना के भेज दो. मैं बोला सर मैं विलन का करना चाहता तो मुझे डांस की क्या जरूरत है. तो बोले नहीं फिर भी कुछ भी कर दो. तो मुझे तो डांस आता नहीं है. तो मेरा
अच्छा,
क्वेश्चन ये था क्या विलन के लिए भी डांस जरूरी है.
नहीं, विलन के लिए डांस जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन विलन के लिए बॉडी लैंग्वेज, वो आव भाव, वो तेवर, वो एक अंदाज. अगर आप देखेंगे बड़े से बड़े एक्टर ना, उनमें एक बॉडी का जो अंग भाव है ना, वो इसलिए क्योंकि वो म्यूजिकल है, क्योंकि डायलॉग भी ना एक पैटर्न पे चलता है, एक रिदम पे चलता है. तो ये बहुत जरूरी हो जाता है कि आप ये जाने कि थोड़ा अगर आप डांस सीख भी लेते हो ना, तो वो आपके लिए फेवर में रहेगा. तो आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज बहुत अच्छी बन जाएगी, आप बहुत कंफर्टेबल हो जाओगे. क्योंकि विलन सिर्फ आवाज या डायलॉग से नहीं बनते हैं, अपनी खुद की एक पर्सनालिटी, बॉडी लैंग्वेज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. तो अगर मैंने सही समझा आपके प्रश्न को, तो मैं ये कहूंगा कि थोड़ा बहुत डांस सबको सीखना चाहिए. क्योंकि वो आपकी बॉडी को एकदम खुल जाएगी बॉडी, और एकदम आप रिलैक्स हो गए तो बॉडी एकदम टेंस लगेगी, है ना, इसलिए.
तीनों कभी कभी विलेन लोग एक ही है ना, एक आईब्रो रेस करते हैं, तो वो भी डांसिंग से ही आता है। दे रेज वन आईब्रो ओनली ना, ऐसे
या
करके।
एक बड़े नामी एक्टर है हमारी इंडस्ट्री में, बमन ईरानी सर।
हाँ
मैंने उनको फिल्म मिलने के पहले, ही वॉज 43 जब उनको पहली पिक्चर मिली। वो तब तक स्ट्रगल कर रहे थे, और वो थिएटर में बहुत ज्यादा काम करते थे। और उनके हर एक थिएटर को मैं जाता था, आई हैव सीन ऑलमोस्ट ऑल हिज प्लेज। माशाल्लाह कमाल के एक्टर, थिएटर एक्टर थे। और बड़े बड़े डायलॉग, बड़े बड़े सीन जहाँ पे कोई ब्रेक नहीं मिलता, कोई डबल टेक नहीं है। और उन्होंने बहुत ऐसे किरदार प्ले किए जहाँ पे वो मेन कैरेक्टर नहीं थे, वो विलन या छोटा रोल करते थे। लेकिन जब भी वो आते थे ना, वो एक उनका एक मिजाज होता था, बॉडी लैंग्वेज उनकी इतनी जबरदस्त थी कि लोग उसको याद रखते थे। He had that kind of charisma because he knew that there's a musicality. डायलॉग में एक टाइमिंग होता है ना, टाइमिंग इज ऑल्सो अबाउट म्यूजिकलिटी। सवाल जवाब, अगर कोई बात कर रहा है, कब उसको कट करना चाहिए, कब उसको स्पेस देना चाहिए, कब नहीं बोलना चाहिए, कब हाँ बोलना चाहिए, ये भी एक रिदम है, ये भी एक ताल है, ये भी एक म्यूजिक है। तो सिर्फ डांस नहीं, मैं सोचूंगा कि म्यूजिक, थोड़ा बहुत म्यूजिक और थोड़ा बहुत डांस सभी को सीखना चाहिए। बिकॉज वो सुर समझ में आ जाएगा कि सुर क्या है। अगर वो समझ में आ गया ना, तो फिर आपका जो आओ भाव है वो भी सुर में, वो भी बैठ जाएगा, एंड देन इट विल बिकम ब्यूटीफुल।
रिसर्च है शोन टेरेंस के जो लोग गाते हैं ना, वो डांस भी अच्छा कर लेते हैं।
करेक्ट,
रिदम होता है क्योंकि बॉडी में,
करेक्ट।
वो रिक्वायर रिदम, नो
और
सिंगिंग।
जो सिंगिंग और जो अच्छा डांस करते हैं वो अच्छा एक्टिंग भी कर लेते हैं,
हाँ
ज्यादातर।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। जैन आप बता रहे थे ना कि आपको क्या फर्क पड़ा डांसिंग सीखने के बाद। पहले आप डांसिंग से दूर भागते थे, फिर आपने सीखा तो क्या हुआ, जरा
जी जी
बताएं, पेरेंट्स को भी बताएं।
जी जी सर, आप मुझे सुन सकते हैं? मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ हाँ, आपकी आवाज आ रही है और दिल तक
जी
पहुंच रही है, बताओ।
सर, मेरा सलाम आपको। और
हाँ
दिनेश
सर।
सर, शुक्रिया कि आपसे मुखातिब होने का मौका मिला मुझे। सर, डांसिंग के रिगार्डिंग जितने भी मेरे क्वेश्चंस थे, मैंने
हाँ,
एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था कि मुझे बिना पूछे ही सारे आंसर्स मिल जाएंगे। रिगार्डिंग दैट कोट फ्रॉम मार्क ट्वेन, जो अच्छा डांस करते हैं वो अच्छी एक्टिंग कर लेंगे, सेकंड थिंग, ठीक है। उसके पहले जब मैं थिएटर में दिल्ली में था, तो मैं डांस करता था, मतलब जब एलकेजी में था, तो मेरे कॉन्वेंट स्कूल में वंदना होती थी, प्रेयर वंदना। एंड
करेक्ट।
माइन वाज अ बॉय स्कूल, तो लड़की भी लड़कों
हाँ,
को करना पड़ता था। तो मैं लड़की
करेक्ट।
बन के नाचा, मैं प्रेयर वंदना बन के नाचा, सेंट जूड फेस्ट हुआ तो मैं नाचा। तो फ्रॉम एलकेजी टिल माय कॉलेज, ऑल दोज अवार्ड्स, मैंने सिर्फ डांसिंग ही की, नो सिंगिंग, नो एक्टिंग, नथिंग।
करेक्ट, करेक्ट।
उसके बाद में एक्टिंग में जब मैं आया, तो मैंने डांसिंग करना बंद कर दिया, बिकॉज आई वाज यूज्ड टू दिस जैक ऑफ ऑल ट्रेड्स थिंग ना, दिस वाज किलिंग मी, कि मुझे कहीं भी परफेक्शन नहीं मिल रहा था। थोड़ा गा रहा था, थोड़ा डांस कर रहा था। तो इन थिएटर में सर क्या हुआ कि, सर कैन यू हियर मी?
Not visible anymore.
हेलो?
Parents are not visible. See?
हाँ, ही इज नॉट विजिबल।
मेरा भी नेटवर्क एंड टाइम पे गायब हो गया।
नहीं, आप तो दिख रहे
हेलो, सॉरी,
हेलो
सॉरी। हेलो,
जी
सॉरी। हाँ जैद, सॉरी,
सर, कैन
आपने
यू?
कहा था कि आप सिर्फ डांस ही करते थे, फिर थोड़ा
हाँ
कट गया मेरा। हाँ।
जी जी।
हाँ,
तो मेरा मेरा टास्क हमेशा ये होता था कि मेरे फ्रेंड्स में, मेरे कॉलेज में जो लोगों को डांस
सॉरी,
करना नहीं आता।
एक
हाँ,
सेकंड सर।
हाँ,
टेरेंस
हाँ,
आप
करेक्ट।
बोलना,
हाँ,
आप
यस। हाँ, करेक्ट,
यस
लेट्स
यस।
गो। हाँ,
तो मेरा टास्क हमेशा ये होता था कि जो मेरे दोस्त हैं, परफॉर्मेंसेस होती है ना कॉलेज में, फेजेस होते हैं,
हाँ,
मुझे
हाँ,
उन लोगों को नचाना है जिन लोगों को डांस करना बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, जिनकी बॉडी स्टिफ है। तो मैं उनको उनके उनकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज को यूज करके ह्यूमर क्रिएट करता था, कॉलेज में हमेशा यही
करेक्ट।
किया मैंने,
हाँ,
ठीक है। तो फिर जब मैं एक्टिंग में आया, तो बिकॉज आई वॉज यूजिंग दिस सिंगिंग, डांसिंग, मिमिक्री, मैं फोकस नहीं कर पा रहा था एक्टिंग पे, सो आई लेफ्ट डांसिंग पास्ट 2 years। जब थिएटर में था, तब मुझे ये डांसिंग जो सीखी थी या करी थी देख देख के, एंड ऑल्सो सर, आई यूज टू थिंक कि यू आर सच अ बिग डांसर, यू मस्ट हैव लर्नड। बट आपने जब बताया कि आप सेल्फ टॉट हैं, आपने देख के लोगों को सीखा, तो मुझे महसूस हुआ कि मैं भी कर सकता हूँ, मतलब इतना अच्छा महसूस हुआ। तो जब वो थिएटर में गया, तो सर वाइल परफॉर्मिंग, बिकॉज इट्स लाइक अ लॉन्ग शॉट ऑफ अ मूवी
करेक्ट,
थिएटर,
करेक्ट।
तो एक्सप्रेशन नजर आते नहीं है, ठीक है। तो जब सामने परफॉर्म कर रहे होते थे, तो आई वॉज इन द बॉडी लैंग्वेज थिंग, आई वॉज बेटर देन द मोस्ट, बिकॉज वो जो
करेक्ट,
डांस था, जो अब मैं छोड़ चुका हूँ, लेकिन डांस ने मुझे नहीं छोड़ा,
करेक्ट,
वो मुझे रिदम पता है, उसकी
करेक्ट,
पहचान है
करेक्ट,
कि अगर आप
करेक्ट,
वीक लगना है तो आपको कैसे खड़ा होना है, या मूवमेंट जो
करेक्ट,
रिदम ताल चल रही है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल,
करेक्ट।
पिछले एक्टर ने क्यू दिया मुझे इस लेवल पे,
तो मुझे उसके लेवल से ही शुरू करना है, उसके नीचे नहीं जाएगा ऊपर।
करेक्ट
तो
करेक्ट
वो डांस वहाँ बहुत हेल्प किया सर, दैट थिंग। एंड
करेक्ट, आपने सही फरमाया है, बिकॉज ये सच बात है। आप किसी भी बड़े नामी एक्टर को पूछिए, अभी बोलते हैं ना दिलीप कुमार को भी नाचना नहीं आता था, बट दिलीप कुमार को पता था वो फिजिकल नहीं हो सकते थे जैसे दूसरे लोग नाच सकते हैं, लेकिन उनको पता था किस तरह से बॉडी को मूव करना है, किस तरह के लय में जाना है।
एग्जैक्टली।
टाइमिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, सुर होना बहुत जरूरी है। तो सुर का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप सुरीली हो और या आप
हाँ।
लता मंगेशकर की तरह गाओ, नहीं। समझ कि सुर कब है,
बिल्कुल
वो
बिल्कुल।
समझ इंपॉर्टेंट है। और वो समझ इज व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, और वो समझ के लिए थोड़ा बहुत सीखना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है।
एग्जैक्टली अभी मैं सर को ये बता रहा, दिनेश सर को बता रहा था कि जीन कैली सर का डांस है सिंगिंग इन द रेन सॉन्ग।
करेक्ट,
तो
फेमस।
जब मैंने वो देखा, ठीक है, जब मैंने वो देखा, ऑल्सो सर वन थिंग टू मेंशन, आई यूज टू डू दिस हिप हॉप एंड रॉकिंग एंड पॉपिंग, बट कंटेम्प्रेरी मैंने थिएटर में एक्सपीरियंस किया, जब पूरा स्टेज आपका है और आप डिफरेंट मूवमेंट्स करके स्टेज पे, तो
करेक्ट
आई फेल्ट लाइक फ्लाइंग। और जब जीन
करेक्ट
कैली सर का मैंने डांस देखा व्हाइल एक्टिंग, ही इज इमोटिंग, ही इज एक्टिंग यूजिंग हिज बॉडी, तो
वन
आई
ऑफ द
वाज
फाइनेस्ट।
वन ऑफ द फाइनेस्ट। बिकॉज फैन किसको बोलते हैं, फैन मतलब मैं आपका फैन इसलिए हूँ कि जो आप कर सकते हैं उसको मैं देखकर बोलूं काश मैं ये कर सकता, क्योंकि मैं नहीं कर सकता, दैट्स अ फैन। तो जब मैंने उनको देखा, आई फेल्ट कि कभी काश जिंदगी में मुझे कुछ काम मिले, मैं ऐसा कुछ करके दिखाऊं कि पूरा एक सीन डांस में एक्सप्रेस करके बिना बोले, बिना बोले।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, इंशाल्लाह ऐसा आपके साथ हो,
इंशाल्लाह
यही
सर,
दुआ करता है।
बिल्कुल सर, आपसे मुखातिब होने का मौका मिला, बहुत शुक्रिया सर।
मुझे भी बहुत खुशी हुई आपसे मुखातिब होकर।
मुझे कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछना कि मुझे सारे आंसर्स आपने आपने जो बोला अभी देर, आई वाज नोटिंग इट डाउन, आई आफ्टर एवरी वर्कशॉप आई नोट इट डाउन, तो मुझे सब कुछ
Terence,
आता
I was
है।
actually
आप
interesting.
बहुत ही तेज हैं जैद, शुक्रिया।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
So I was, एक तो दिलीप कुमार के बारे में आपने बताया, so I will suggest all of them to go and see this song, पूरी जब जब जुल्फे तेरी।
ओके।
You have that song, it's so good. वही वाला
वैजयंती माला
डांस,
के साथ हैं वो।
हाँ बहुत अच्छी। और दूसरी बात, मैं शम्मी कपूर से बात कर रहा था एक दिन टेरेंस, तो उन्होंने बताया, मैंने कहा आप बहुत अच्छा डांस करते हैं, आर यू क्रेजी, आई डोंट नो एबीसी ऑफ डांस। ऐसे व्हाई डू यू से दैट, से मैं कोरियोग्राफर को बोलता था क्या एरिया है जिसके अंदर डांस करना है, अभी आप मुझे बता दो, मैं स्टेप वेप नहीं फॉलो कर सकता, लेफ्ट हैंड उठाओ राइट हैंड, मैं आपको जो चाहिए करके दूंगा, आपको पसंद आए तो बताना, वेरिएशन। So he used to do his own dance, but if you see him on screen, you think, wow, he's so good. So dancing can be
It's true.
yeah, it can
It
be
is true. Shami Kapoor choreographed himself.
yes, yes. Even Jitendra told me, yaar, ये लोग मेरे को dancer बोल
नहीं नहीं, Jitendra used to get mar. Jitendra sir has gotten beaten up. He himself has told me by Bhatt Saab, but not Mahesh Bhatt Saab, but Bhatt sir एक थे choreographer, सुरेश भट्ट सर। वो
सुरेश
बहुत छड़ी लेके मारते थे उनको, बहुत मतलब मेहनत करनी पड़ती थी, बिकॉज जितेंद्र जी वाज नॉट अ डांसर बट ही वाज मेड टू डांस, बिकॉज साउथ की फिल्में चलती थी उनकी, तो उस दौरान ऐसा हुआ। सो फिर श्रीदेवी उनके साथ जुड़ गई, तो उनके साथ डांसिंग करना ही था, तो मजबूरन उनको डांस सीखना पड़ता था, और तब के टाइम पे वो छड़ी चलाते थे, अभी तो अलग बात है।
अक्षरा, आप कुछ पूछना चाहेंगे?
Hi, sir.
हाय
Hi.
अक्षरा।
Hi. I'm really glad to meet you. And thank you so much for the tips. And really, I really do agree with you that the one who can sing well can dance well. So I also feel as dancing, singing, and it'll take closer to the God and spirituality.
डेफिनेटली, मैं भी ये
Yes.
मानता हूँ।
Thanks, sir. I have a little doubt. So I'm a Kathak dancer basically. So I haven't learned contemporary any time. So I don't know ABCD of it. So do I need to learn? I'm an actor. Sorry, I didn't introduce. So I'm an actor. I have acted in a couple of web series, and I have acted in a character role in in two of the movies that are upcoming. So, is it important for an actor to learn contemporary or or Western style of dancing, or is that
No,
okay if I learn Kathak?
no, you don't need to learn any particular style of dance. Just learn any one dance style, just to allow your body to move. Unless you want to become a film actor, with commercial films, then you need to learn a little bit of Bollywood, a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of, jazz, not contemporary because that's not being used in films. So, but otherwise, you just need to learn any dance form. If you can learn a classical dance form like Kathak, it will really help you. If you want to become an actress or if you want to become, one of the main leads, that helps. But having said that, I think if you can just learn any dance class will do. Contemporary is not necessary to be a film actor.
Okay. So, what is the contribution of contemporary in acting, sir? Basically, because most of the Western actors do learn contemporary because they say instrument and we should learn each.
Well, it's a different school of thought. It's a different school of acting also. So you cannot compare Hollywood to Bollywood. They're very different school of thought. So what works for them may not work for us here.
Yeah, that.
Sorry, am I reading your name right, Prabhara?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
आप कुछ सवाल पूछना चाहेंगे?
Okay, sir, this is actually Vidula. This I joined for my niece. She is learning Bharatanatyam for last 4-5 years. She is now 14, 15 years. And, we thought that we will introduce her to some different dance form also.
Mhm.
Is it good that a kid of her age learning, two different forms at the same time, or should we continue with Bharatanatyam? What's your this thing?
How many years has she studied Bharatanatyam?
She is learning it for last 5 years now. She is 14
Actually,
years and almost
she can learn other
5,
styles
6
because
years.
today's kids are supremely talented. They are multitaskers. They are very intelligent in that sense, and they can handle two styles very easily. Now, any style that you learn, like suppose if you're going for jazz funk, it will be still close to. Suppose you put her to jazz, okay, then you should be closer to the style, like because it has a certain form and structure or ballet. But if you're looking at hip hop or you're looking at any of the other dance forms, they are very completely opposite to the form and structure. So there might be certain issues, understanding that body language, because I would suggest that in the beginning, if you can just start her off with, another 2 years that she spends in doing Bharatanatyam, and maybe she can just do some dance classes which kind of, appeal to her just for the fun sake, but not to kind of really get into it in a serious way. Because it's rather she kind of, does one thing seriously and the other things she can just do for fun. She can get into a
Thank you.
contemporary dance unit also because contemporary is pretty close to classical in that sense. So she will learn a certain aspects which are very different and which are very great tools for dancing.
We have been following you on Instagram, sir, and we saw your, diploma courses, all the
So
advertisement
she
and
can
everything.
she can definitely join for the diploma course if she's really a well-trained dancer and she can give that much time, because the diploma course is a serious course and it's not meant for people who just want to learn dance for fun. So it's a 3 hours every day, 5 days a week for 6 months. It's pretty hectic with exams. Whereas what I would recommend is start with GPLC, which is like a 1 month course, intensive. It's also 5 days, 3 hours a week. Maybe there she'll get a hang of what it is, and it's not so overwhelming. And there are two styles, there are three styles: Bollywood, hip hop, and contemporary. So she'll be able to kind of just, and it's very basic level and open level. And then eventually for a diploma, you have to audition, you have to be a very talented dancer, you have to kind of give exams, and it's a whole process. Maybe she
Thank
can
you
do
very
that a
much,
little
sir.
later. Yeah. God bless. Cheers.
Yeah. So, but this diploma courses, these workshops are conducted only in Mumbai, right?
Yes,
From
the
your
course is only in Mumbai. The online course, the on-ground course is only in Mumbai. But the online course is available, online for anybody outside Mumbai. But they are not the level and the degree that we have in the diploma is not available because we cannot certify somebody to be a professional dancer without them having trained under us physically.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much, Raheja, sir. Actually, the main purpose of joining this particular workshop was, to inspire her with. We have been hearing about Terence sir story, and we also come from a, middle class family and all that. So we just wanted
Thanks for
to,
sharing.
join here for more inspiration for her and all that. Thank you very much, sir.
Pleasure, man. God bless you and all the best to your daughter.
Terence, on a lighter note, before I ask Jigar to ask you a
Okay.
question, on a
Okay,
lighter,
tell me. Yes.
which is which are the good and bad dancers according to
Ah, you're putting me in a tight spot. Huh? I'm not going to answer that one, Dinesh.
you? Okay,
That's going to
okay,
cost me my career.
just tell me good dancers.
Good dancers. There is Madhuri. There is, there's Ritik. There's Shahid. There is Tiger. But the best to me is Govinda and Madhuri. They're just organic dancers. And of course, every actor right now is so well prepared and well trained. So Varun, Ranveer, all of them are great dancers. They all move very well.
So you're using Govinda.
Katrina, Katrina, Aishwarya, phenomenal too.
And Jigar, what is your question?
हाँ जी सर, मेरा सवाल है कि आपने डायरेक्शन के बारे में कुछ प्लान किया है फिल्म डायरेक्शन के लिए?
Well, बहुत सारे जो मेरे म्यूजिक वीडियोस जो भी आप देख रहे हैं, मैंने 4 म्यूजिक वीडियोस एक साल में किए हैं। उनमें सब मेरी कुछ ना कुछ, ऑल्दो मेरा जो 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 डायरेक्टर्स अलग अलग रहे हैं, मुख्तलिफ डायरेक्टर्स रहे हैं, लेकिन मेरी बहुत सारी इनपुट्स रहे हैं डायरेक्शन में। चाहे वो एडिटिंग में हो या डायरेक्शन में हो, मैं बहुत घुस जाता हूँ। सो आई वांट टू सी माई सेल्फ एज एन एक्टर फर्स्ट, बिकॉज डायरेक्शन के लिए तो मैं आई कैन डू दैट इवन व्हेन आई एम 60। सो आई जस्ट वांट टू काइंड ऑफ फुलफिल सर्टेन ड्रीम्स ऑफ माइन एज एन एक्टर। तो वो फुलफिल करूंगा। मैंने एक फिल्म भी लिखी है ऑलरेडी, तो वो मुकम्मल होने के लिए थोड़ा वक्त चाहिए। पता नहीं, जब तारे जुड़ जाएंगे, जब तारे सब अलाइन हो जाएंगे, तो शायद वो भी हो जाएगा। सो आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर एन अपॉर्चुनिटी, एंड अगर गॉड विलिंग इंशाल्लाह अगर सब कुछ सही चला, तो वो फिल्म जो मैंने खुद लिखी है वो डायरेक्ट भी करूंगा, एक्ट भी करूंगा।
ओके, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर।
Well, आप कहाँ से हैं?
मैं वापी से हूँ, गुजरात से।
गुजरात से।
हाँ, वन डे टू डे एक्टिंग करता रहता हूँ, काफी साल से।
क्या बात है, सुपर, करते रहिए और अपनी किस्मत आजमाते रहिए। गॉड ब्लेस यू बेटा, गॉड ब्लेस।
और सर, आपने बोमन ईरानी जी की बात की, उससे मुझे थोड़ा पॉजिटिविटी मिला, क्योंकि घर पे सभी लोग यही बोलते हैं कि छोड़ दो, लेकिन अभी ठीक है। अभी
देखो, अगर ये फील्ड में घुसना है ना, तो आपको डुअल करियर्स चाहिए। एक करियर जहाँ पे आपको आमदनी मिले, फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी बहुत जरूरी है। तो कुछ जो भी है, ये करियर में ना, अगर लग गया तो लग गया, नहीं तो नहीं। तो फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी, हाँ, तो फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी के लिए कुछ ना कुछ करना चाहिए, ताकि वो पैसा आते रहे, ताकि आप घर पे भी पैसे दे सकते हैं, अपनी खुद की लाइफ जी सकते हैं। और अगर जिस दिन मौका मिल गया, तो फिर वहां से आप निकल सकते हो। तो मैंने भी कई ऐसे काम किए बीच में। जब तक मेरी लाइन, मेरा जो काम, जो मुझे जो आज तक मैं जहाँ पर पहुंचा हूँ, इसके पहले मैंने काफी पापड़ बेले हैं, यहाँ वहाँ घूमता रहता था, अलग अलग काम करता रहता था, ताकि पैसे रहे मेरे पास। तो वो बहुत जरूरी है कि वो फाइनेंशियल आर्थिक स्थिति अच्छी रहे। और उसके बाद आप ये चीज जो अपने दिल के लिए करते हो, चाहे वो अपने अरमानों के लिए, अपने सपनों के लिए करते हो, करते रहना। लेकिन फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए। तो आप देख लेना किस तरीके से वो बनती है। देयर आर मेनी वेज टू डू इट। उसी पेशे में अगर होता है तो आपकी किस्मत, क्या बात है, फैंटास्टिक। अगर नहीं होती तो यू हैव टू काइंड ऑफ गो लेफ्ट राइट एंड सी व्हाट कैन बी क्लोज, दैट गिव्स यू द चांस टू बी द एक्टर आल्सो, एट द सेम टाइम गिव यू फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी।
Sorry.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर।
रोहित, just mute everybody. किसी के बच्चे के रोने आपके यहाँ से तो नहीं आए ना टेरेंस?
सॉरी,
मेरी
हाय कल्पना।
हाय कल्पना जी।
हाय, कैसे गया?
I think she cannot hear us.
Your audio is not connected.
Now I can hear you.
Perfect.
Hi.
Hi Kalpana ji. Thank you so much for giving me a surprise. A huge fan of your work.
Oh my God. Well, vice versa, because I think you're incredible. As a matter of fact, I've just finished telling somebody that one of the few people that, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm really, really, really very fond of you and your body of work and the way you do things and the way you've conducted yourself. And this might sound like a very big fan moment, but I think you're doing incredibly amazing work.
Thank you, ma'am. And I didn't even know that I even existed in your universe. So this is a huge shock to me, because you're such a legend. And
No.
I didn't even know that I would even exist in your universe. So you telling me this makes my day, makes my month, makes my year. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
be going
Thank
home
you.
beaming. I think my smile has just reached my ears. But thank you,
Thank
ma'am,
you.
because it means a lot from one artist to another to say something like this is आपका ये बड़प्पन है कि आपने ऐसा आपने
No, no,
मेरे
no,
बारे में
no,
बोला
no,
है.
no,
Thank you
no,
so
no,
much.
no, 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 no. It's very nice. It's very nice to hear you speak with so much of humility. But the reality is that you're today's person, and the way you're doing things, I've been watching you, I've been following you, and I've been seeing a lot of your work. And as a matter of fact, अभी recently ही एक 2-3 दिन पहले मैंने 2-3 दिन, हाँ, about a week maybe, किसी से इंटरव्यू में मैंने कहा है कि the one person that I have immense respect for, and his form and style, and you have a very endearing quality about you, Terence.
Thank
And
you,
I
ma'am.
won't say the G and the up and all, please, okay?
Okay.
Terence, okay? When I see you
Okay.
in person, I will say the Terence G bit, not here. Okay, okay. And I want you to keep on doing the kind of work you're doing, and just be the way you are. Be humble and be just the way you are. I mean, it's wonderful, wonderful. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Your blessings will always be with me, and I really appreciate that. And this is really, thank you, Dinesh, for a wonderful surprise. And I just want to let people know that, you know, that you guys, you, Helen G, and all did did certain dances that were so challenging, at your times, and with such little resources, with no exposure to the world outside, because some of the art forms that you all were doing, especially what PL Raj was choreographing or Bhatt sir, they were doing things that they were seeing from the West, and there was no, unlike today, we have social media to check out and see what it looks like. You all were just going by your guru and saying, okay, this is what he wants, and we just do it. So they were adaptations, of what they had seen. So the challenges that you all worked with, the kind of male gaze that you all had, the kind of costumes that you have to put yourself through, and the kind of, unlike today, like everybody wears stuff where nobody will bat an eyelid watching somebody wear, what you used to wear back in the days, but the guts and the finesse and the class. And I have to tell you, a lot of my senior actors whom I interview, they say, एक मोहतरमा, Kalpana ji, she had class. She had class. And when I meet you in person, I will tell you some of the senior actors who have told me about you.
I have a lot to tell you too.
So they should secretly gush over you, and they're like, she was very classy, she was not very easy to, she was not somebody who just could be easy going with. She worked very professionally, but she had her own, walls, and it's so amazing to hear such good things about you. And they knew that, the style and the way you looked so international, with that high ponytail and that slick back hair. It was very different for those times. And I have to say
I
that
was
even
too
though
thin.
you're too
I was
skinny
too
that time.
thin, and people thought, yes, and everything changed, and
Yeah.
thin became fashionable.
Fashionable,
Yes.
yeah. You were ahead of
Yes.
its times. You were ahead of the times that time, yeah. But so lovely, ma'am, and so lovely to see you speak so eloquently. And we need to meet, definitely, definitely. Fingers crossed, yeah.
Terence, I can decide whether she's a better dancer or a better person. It's a bit difficult. I think she's better at both.
I think some people just have it both ways, and that is what has made them who they are.
I only have to say one thing before we go ahead. Terence and Dinesh, I am a very blessed human being, is what I believe. Because when you come into this world, there are a few things that happen to you. It is not a coincidence. It's the universe that conspires to make things right for you.
True.
And
True.
I've been very blessed because I knew nobody. I'm absolutely untrained. I started from nothing, and I still believe I'm nothing. I am the creation of my creator, and I am blessed to have people who've thought well for me. And at every point in my life, they've turned on and said, hold my hand. And I've held that, and I've walked with them. So I am the creation of everyone's goodness. That is what I believe. And I truly, truly believe that everything happened for a reason. Like now, in this past 2 years, Dinesh is part of my existence. Anything to do with anything, Kalpana. So Kalpana will not say no to Dinesh, because Dinesh is a very dear, dear friend. And
How
when he
sweet.
told me that it is you, how on earth will I say no? How on earth will I
How
say
sweet.
no?
Thank
So
you,
this
Dinesh, for
also,
being
yeah, this
joining the
also
dots.
is a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. Kya malum hai where this is going to go? How do we know?
Yeah. I always, you
अच्छा,
said it so well. हम सब समझते हैं कि हम, 30 मार खान है, कि हमारे वजह से सब दुनिया चलती है, या because of my talent. That's not true. क्योंकि जब तक हमें मौके नहीं मिलते ना, हम चमक नहीं सकते हैं. So you have to realize one thing in life कि मौका मिलना बहुत जरूरी होता है.
Terence, अगर एक
हमारे से
छोटी
ज्यादा
सी
talented लोग
बच्ची,
बैठे
no,
हैं.
I completely, इस चीज पे तो मैं तो अपना सर झुकाती हूँ ऊपर वाले के पास every day. कौन समझता था एक छोटी सी बच्ची जो अपने ग्रिल को पकड़ के मेरा नाम चिन चिन चू करती थी, उसको कोई ब्रेक मिलेगा, उसको कोई डांस मिलेगा, उसको कोई चांस मिलेगा. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a lot of incidents like that to narrate, you know.
Yeah.
So we are
बहुत
all
सारे फरिश्ते
creative.
हमें मिले. Yeah.
Yes,
बहुत सारे
God,
फरिश्ते
God.
जिन्होंने अपने हाथ,
Yes.
हाथ थामा, और ये अनजान लोग थे, और उन्होंने कुछ मांगा भी नहीं वापस. वो हाथ पकड़ के लेके गए और निकल गए, और वो अपना काम करके चले गए, और उनके मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ. यहाँ तक पहुंचने के लिए बहुत अनजान लोगों का बहुत साथ था.
Yes. Yes.
एक प्ले है, फिल्म भी है मालिन ब्रांडो की, स्पीकर नेम डिजायर.
Yes.
Yeah.
वो बोलती है, I've always depended on the kindness of strangers. I thought that is a brilliant.
That's a brilliant line. It's so true.
And she said it so beautifully.
Yeah. अच्छा रोहित, अब वो play कर दो. Rohit, just play that. Are you playing?
एक नंबर भी बहुत सही दिख रही है, बहुत सही दिख रही है. नहीं वो टाइम तो सब नहीं है, सब है तो करते हैं.
Wow, look at that. Nice. What a lovely clip.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. Look at the hairstyle, look at the looks, just ahead of its time. Stunning. Zed, I love your dancing too. Zed, you were brilliant, you were lovely. I didn't think you would be so good. You were really good.
Thank you.
I think we showed you only half of the students' video.
But,
He's showing you
but even the half, I don't need to see the rest. I can tell you in the first 4 moves only whether this guy is a dancer, has rhythm or not. अभी इतनी पकड़ समझ आ गई है 25 साल डांस से देखते देखते. कि वो पहले 2 काउंट के अंदर ही पता चलता कि ये डांसर है नहीं है, इसमें लय है कि नहीं है. He definitely is brilliant. He's very
सर
good. He's got a lot of
मेरा
potential.
मेरा दिल इतनी तेज धड़क रहा है कि मैं आपको बता नहीं सकता कि छोटे शहर झांसी में बैठकर जहां मैं डीआईडी देख रहा हूँ बचपन से, और पूरा झांसी पूरे शहर आपको जानते हैं कि टेरेंस न्यूज बेस्ट करते हैं डीआईडी, और मैंने छोटी सी क्लिप भेजी और वो आप मुझे देखकर ऐसा बोले कि आपने देखी भी वो चीज, तो वो ही मतलब
और मैं झूठ नहीं बोलता हूँ. If you were not good, no, there, if I felt you were off or musically तुम्हारा लय नहीं है या रिदम नहीं है या ग्रेस नहीं है या बॉडी में लचक ही नहीं है या लचीलापन नहीं है, I would have said, I would have been very sweet and said nice, good, thank you very much. लेकिन मैं थोड़ा और बात करूँ because I really enjoyed how you enjoyed the dance. You were enjoying the dance also. That's very important. सिर्फ स्टेप्स नहीं थे तुम्हारे लिए, वो तुम्हारे लिए वो तुम्हारी यू वर डांसिंग विद जॉय, तो वो दिखा, वो दिखा.
मतलब मेरा दिन क्या, मेरा साल क्या, आपने सब बना दिया. क्योंकि मैं आई हैव डांस्ड आफ्टर 2.5 years ऑलमोस्ट, और 3 years, बिकॉज मेरे फादर की भी सर्जरी हुई है, तो मुंबई छोड़कर झांसी उनके साथ हुआ यहाँ पर. तो उस स्पेस में मैं निकल कर आपको वीडियो भेजना, आई वॉज ट्राइंग टू मेक अ समथिंग क्रिएटिव माई ओन, बट वो मौका, वो स्पेस
नहीं, बट जो कोरियोग्राफी फिल्म की थी आपने बहुत अच्छी तरह से निभाया, बहुत अच्छी तरह से, बहुत. और एजिलिटी भी थी, तो इट वाज वेरी नाइस. एंड डांसिंग इज लाइक राइडिंग अ बाइसिकल. एक बार आप साइकिल सीख लिया ना तो वो जहन में उतर जाता है. देन इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ लिटिल प्रैक्टिस, वो फिर से आ जाता है सब कुछ वापस.
सर बहुत शुक्रिया सर, बहुत ज्यादा शुक्रिया.
Take care. God bless you. And Kalpana ji, you were mind blowing. What a body of work you've had. I'm so impressed. And there were 2-3 songs that I had not known that you were in it. So it was very nice to see her. Yeah, one Nazia Hassan song also I heard. I think it was Alisha Chinoy's voice or Nazia Hassan's voice. I think it was lovely.
That was Sharon Prabhakar.
Sharon Prabhakar's voice. Oh wow, yeah. One of the really anglicized songs.
Yes,
It didn't sound like a Indian singer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Arman
nice.
ka gana. Arman ka song. Yeah.
Very different. Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Dinesh, and thank you to all the participants in the workshop. It was a pleasure listening to you. Thank you, ma'am, for coming. And to everybody out here, thank you for the love. हम कलाकार इसलिए क्योंकि हमारे पास आप जैसे लोग हैं जो तालियां बजाते हैं, हम लोग देखते हैं, हम सर पे रखते हैं. Otherwise हमारी कोई औकात नहीं. So thank you so much, and thank you to God who has brought us all together in this beautiful universe. You know, and yeah.
What happened?
टेरेंस सर, किसी रियलिटी शो में रेमो डिसूजा सर ने एक बात कही थी, एंड वी ऑलवेज फील दैट इट्स सो ट्रू दैट
Sweet. I'll quickly say I've already spoken to Zed. The next girl that came in did belly dancing, very lovely. I love the choice of song. She moved very gracefully. Her isolations were very nice. And the last boy did folk dancing again, very nice, rhythmic quality. But of course, he has to grow a little bit more in dancing, and he was just dancing for the joy of it. I like the use of color; it was quite sweet and love basic, simple, nice, and effective. But of course, we couldn't see more than that. The skill is in dancing is still to be untapped, and probably he's an actor or probably somebody who doesn't need to do high level of dancing. He's just showcasing that he can also dance. So enjoyed all the three flavors, very different from each other. So it was a very nice esoteric mix. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so
I just
much.
have to pleasure. I just have to give my father his dinner, so I'm going to rush out. I'm going to, yeah, I'll have to kind of he's staying with me for a few days, so I need to take care of him. So I'm going to rush out and take. I'm apologize. I have to leave quickly. Thank you so much. It was lovely chatting with you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to express myself, and thank you for expressing yourself and sharing this and having this shared space. Thank you, Dinesh, for creating this shared space, and to everybody in the backend team, thank you very much. Once again, thank you, Kalpana ji, thank you very much, and we have got to meet again. God bless. Take care.
God bless. God bless. Lots of love.
Bye bye. See ya.
Thank you. Kalpana, what did you think of the dancers? They are all students.
The first boy that whom
Yeah.
Terence liked very much, I thought he was brilliant. And the girl who did the belly dancing, whatever little I managed to see, very neat, very smooth. There was no hindrance. But then as you go along, you learn and you do more. She was good. And the third boy, the boy who was doing all that in the garden with all the puljadi and everything, very vibrant, very but again, there should be a little bit more of dancing. It was more fun. It was like, you leave a child in the park and say, whoosh. So he again, he probably dances for fun. He probably is just starting to dance a lot or whatever, because the first boy looked very professional, very nice, very complete. The girl also very smooth and
Kalpana,
even
if you take the girl's name, she'll be very happy. Her name is Kajal Pawar.
Kajal Pawar. Oh, she was very good. And this is Zen, I think.
Yes,
Zen.
Zen, fabulous, fabulous,
Zen.
fabulous, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And the third gentleman, his name is
What's Vishal.
Vishal. Vishal also excellent. No, excellent. The point is there was a lot of joy, even in his, the leaps and the turns and all. There was a lot of joy. So it's not always about being perfect. Like Zen was very definite. The girl was, Kajal was also very smooth. Vishal was full of joy. So everybody, in their own place, they were doing a very good job. Very good job. God bless them. God bless them. भाई अभी तो शुरुआत है, अभी तो बहुत दूर जाना है, बहुत दूर जाना है. इंशाल्लाह, God bless you. बहुत अच्छा करते हो और इसी तरह रहो, एकदम ठहराव के साथ. Okay?
Kalpana, two things. One, so I loved your video a lot. बहुत ही अच्छा था. I'm sure. Did you like it or not, Zaid?
I loved it. I was just like, because I didn't expect it. I was stunned. Actually, you've done a very good, क्या बोलते हैं? It's been done very well, because normally people add this, that, and there's no merging nahi hai. This was like, it merged all very nice, very, very nice. Excellent. And what a different concept this is. Very nice, really nice. बहुत अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा.
Now I have to do one workshop with you.
Me? Ayo. Let me be your workshop, Baba. I am Dinesh Raheja's workshop. Anyway.
We'll do a workshop. We'll go live on YouTube.
Ooh, this Zoom thing is better, because I don't know. वो कहते हैं ना, I'm so bad with any of these things. These children will laugh at me. But this Zoom मैंने सीख लिया है, and I'm fine. And आपके साथ इतने सारे Zoom हो गए कि अभी मैं Zoom के पास जाती हूँ, तो the Zoom from my phone turns around and says, "Oh, Dinesh." Anyway.
Thank you so much. We had a wonderful evening. I hope everybody enjoyed.
Yes.
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल सर.
Thank you.
And everybody,
Actually, ma'am, I have been following you on Sari Speak as well.
Oh,
so I am a big fan of your wardrobe as well. Thank you very much. It's Raheja sir, ये 2 साल से मैं सोच रही थी कि मैम को एक बार कहीं पे मिलूं या देखूं या समथिंग लाइक दैट. एंड आज पता नहीं, आज मेरे स्टार्स शायद बहुत स्ट्रांग है.
नहीं.
एंड
God is kind.
इट्स लाइक अ थैंक यू मच मैम, थैंक्स अ लॉट. बहुत ज्यादा इंस्पायर करते हो आप इंडियन ट्रेडिशनल साड़ीज ये करके.
Welcome.
लवली लवली.
I'm honored that you think so well of me. I'm very honored that you've noticed my posts. Actually, Dinesh is a very, very dear friend. And 99% of the times, जब भी उन्होंने कहा है, मैंने पूरी कोशिश की है कि मैं मना नहीं करूं. It's very rare that I have excused myself, but there is no way on earth कि डांस का कोई चीज हो और मैं ना आऊं. So I think he's doing an incredible job of turning around and giving, all kinds of encouragement and initiatives, because this also is a lot of effort for him to put together all this and, see. And no, it's amazing, amazing. I completely applaud what you're doing. As a matter of fact, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं है. मेरे घर पे मेरे पास ये मोबाइल है तो मैं जिंदा हूँ. As in कि मुझे ये प्लग वो ये बलाना डमका, forget it. Anyway, wonderful, Dinesh. Thank you for having me. And thank you for, I wasn't surprised, but I think Terence is a wonderful, wonderful person. And I genuinely meant it when I said that he does an incredible job. He has a lot of character. And there's something very endearing about him. There's some quality in him that I'm not able to pinpoint, but एक अंदर से एक होता है ना, एक इंसान है, young है, मेहनत तो है ही, उसका टैलेंट तो डिनाई मैं कर नहीं सकती, but there's something else, there's a spark, and that's a blessing. There's a blessing.
X factor बोलते हैं ना. X factor.
मैंने आपको काफी फिल्मों में एक्टिंग करते भी देखा है और अच्छी एक्टिंग करते हैं. हाँ. मैंने जैसे ही आपके वो दिखे ना डांसिंग वीडियो, मुझे तुरंत क्लिक आ गया कि आप ही हो वो. बहुत एक्टिंग की है आपने, मैंने देखी है. मैंने काफी फिल्में देखी है मैंने.
थैंक यू. यही सब चीजें हैं जो आप लोग बोलते हैं, तो वो कहते हैं ना कि जिंदगी के थोड़े बहुत और साल बढ़ जाते हैं. तो इस उम्र में अब मेरे को यही, वो कहते हैं ना, बहुत नसीब वाले होते हैं वो लोग जिनके लिए लोग अच्छी बातें करते हैं. क्यों आपकी जिंदगी जो भी है वो तय जो करनी है वो तो मैं कर रही हूँ, कर चुकी हूँ शायद, पता नहीं मुझे, बट अभी जो भी बचा है, जो कुछ भी है, यही चीजें हैं. आप लोग जब अच्छी बातें बोलते हैं, आप लोगों को कुछ हमारी अच्छी बातें याद हैं, तो दैट इज अ ब्लेसिंग फॉर मी. इट इज लाइक ऑक्सीजन, इट कीप्स मी अलाइव. थैंक यू.
दिनेश सर की वजह से आज बड़े लोगों से बात करने को मिलती है, बाकी जिंदगी निकल जाती है.
Thank you. Thank you. खुश रहो. God bless you.
Thank you, madam.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Dinesh.
Bye.
Bye, Dinesh. God bless you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.